In the heart of Yumichukwu, a village situated among green hills and thick forests, where the rivers flowed with crystal clear water and the air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers, there lived a girl named Emma. She was not like the other children in the village. From a young age, it was clear that she possessed a unique gift. Emma could run faster than anyone else, her feet barely skimming the earth as she flew across the fields. When she ran, it was as if time itself paused, just to watch her in awe. Her speed was matched only by her kind heart, and she became the pride and joy of Yumichukwu. The villagers adored her. Old men would sit by the roadside, pipes in hand, and talk about the day when Emma would bring glory to their village. Mothers would tell their children bedtime stories about Emma's feats, inspiring them to be brave and strong. She was the embodiment of everything good in Yumichukwu: courage, strength, and grace. But not everyone was thrilled by Emma's success. In the neighboring village of Umedike, there lived a woman named Ifeoma, who was known for her sharp tongue and even sharper eyes. Ifeoma had a daughter, Ifi, who was the apple of her eye. Ifi was beautiful and talented, but she could never outshine Emma, and this reality gnawed at Ifeoma like a persistent itch. The more Emma excelled, the more Ifeoma's envy grew, until it twisted her heart into something dark and malevolent. One day, as Ifeoma sat in the shade of a mango tree, watching Ifi practice her running, an idea began to form in her mind. It was a wicked idea, born out of jealousy and spite. If Ifi could not naturally surpass Emma, then Ifeoma would ensure that Emma fell from grace, and her daughter would finally have her moment in the sun. The day of the great race was approaching, an event that drew competitors from all the surrounding villages. The prize was not just a symbol of victory, but the pride of being the fastest runner in the region. Everyone knew that Emma was the favorite, and they eagerly anticipated seeing her leave the others in the dust. But Ifeoma had other plans. As the village prepared for the race, Ifeoma whispered her scheme to Ifi. It was a devious plot, one that would exploit Emma's trusting nature. Ifi, eager to gain the recognition she craved, agreed to her mother's plan, though a shadow of doubt flickered in her heart. But the desire to win, to finally step out of Emma's shadow, was too strong to ignore. The morning of the race dawned bright and clear. The sun was a golden orb in the sky, casting a warm glow over the village square where the runners gathered. Emma stood among them, her heart filled with excitement and the quiet confidence of someone who knew their worth. She had trained tirelessly, her body and mind honed for this moment. But she had no idea what was waiting for her. As the runners lined up, Ifi approached Emma with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. In her hand, she held a gourd of water, offering it to Emma under the guise of friendship. "You must be thirsty," Ifi said sweetly, her voice like honey. "Drink this. It will refresh you before the race." Emma, ever trusting and kind, accepted the water without a second thought. She took a long drink, the cool liquid sliding down her throat, unaware of the potion that Ifi's mother had secretly mixed into it. It was a concoction designed to sap her strength and make her legs feel like lead when she tried to run. The starting horn blew, and the runners surged forward. Emma took off like a gazelle, her legs moving with practiced ease. But something was wrong. With each step, she felt a strange heaviness in her limbs, a dull ache that spread from her ankles to her thighs. Panic bubbled up in her chest as she struggled to maintain her speed. The other runners began to pass her, their figures blurring as tears of frustration welled in her eyes. Ifi, seeing her plan work, smiled to herself as she pushed forward, her own legs pumping with renewed vigor. She could taste victory on her lips and could already hear the cheers of the villagers chanting her name. For the first time, she would be the one in the spotlight, not Emma. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Just as Emma was about to give up, her legs trembling with exhaustion, a strange thing happened. A cool breeze, refreshing, swept through the village. It whispered through the trees, rustling the leaves and carrying with it the scent of the earth after rain. Emma felt the wind wrap around her, lifting her spirits. In that moment, she remembered all the times she had run, not just for victory but for the sheer love of it, the freedom, the joy, the connection to something greater than herself. Drawing strength from that memory, Emma took a deep breath and pushed forward. The weakness in her legs seemed to dissipate, replaced by a newfound energy. Her feet, which had felt like lead, now moved with the speed of a fox, swift and sure. The other runners, who had thought they'd left her behind, could only watch in astonishment as she surged ahead, her body a blur of motion. The finish line was in sight, and Ify, who had been leading, glanced back, only to see Emma closing in on her. Panic set in, and she pushed herself harder, but it was no use. Emma, fueled by determination and something almost divine, passed her in the final moments and crossed the finish line to the deafening roar of the crowd. Emma collapsed to the ground, her chest heaving, but a smile of triumph lit up her face. She had done it. She had won, but the victory was not hers alone. The villagers who had witnessed Emma's struggle and her miraculous recovery were buzzing with questions. How had she managed to overcome such odds? And why had she been so weak at the start of the race? It was then that Neka, the village elder, stepped forward. Neka was a woman of great wisdom, respected by all. She had been observing the events with a keen eye, and now she revealed the truth that had been hidden in the shadows. With a voice that commanded attention, Neka recounted what she had seen, how Ify had given Emma the tainted water, how Ifeoma had spread rumors to tarnish Emma's name. The villagers gasped in shock and anger, their admiration for Ify turning to disgust. They realized that Emma's struggle had not been due to any fault of her own, but because of the wickedness of those who sought to bring her down. Ifeoma and Ify were brought before the village council, their faces paled with fear. They confessed to their crimes, their heads bowed in shame. The council, led by Neka, declared that such treachery could not go unpunished. Ifeoma and Ify were banished from the village, their names to be forgotten, their legacy one of disgrace. As they were led away, Emma stood tall, her heart filled not with hatred but with forgiveness. She knew that holding on to anger would only weigh her down, and she had learned that true strength comes not from winning but from enduring, from standing up after a fall and running forward despite the odds. In the days that followed, Emma's life changed in ways she had never imagined. The villagers, who had once seen her as merely a fast runner, now saw her as a symbol of resilience and grace. Her story spread far beyond Yumichuku, inspiring people in distant villages to believe in themselves and to face their own challenges with courage and hope. Emma continued to run, but now it was different. She ran not just for the thrill of it, but with a deeper understanding of what it meant to overcome, to fight against the forces that sought to pull her down. And every time she ran, she carried with her the knowledge that no matter how dark the path ahead, there was always a light to guide her, always a wind to lift her when she needed it most. Her journey, once marred by jealousy and deceit, had been transformed into a tale of triumph. Emma had been tested by fate, and she had emerged victorious not just in the race but in life. She became more than just a girl with the speed of a fox. She became a legend, a beacon of hope in the hearts of those who heard her story. And so, the name Emma echoed through the hills of Yumichuku, a reminder that true greatness is not just in winning the race, but in how one runs it with courage, with heart, and with an unbreakable spirit. Did Emma's story inspire you? Remember, no matter the obstacles, your spirit is what truly defines you. If you enjoyed this tale of courage and resilience, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more inspiring stories. Check out our next story about a farmer who faced impossible odds with a lion's heart. And as always, thank you for watching. Stay inspired, stay strong, and keep believing in your own